Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
Happy Friday, and there's no better time to shop for stocks. So if you're wondering whether the names making headlines are worth your investment, we're here to help you out with companies to watch. And charging us up today is Dan Koh.
That's right. It's Chemistry Friday. Audrey C.
Oh no, I'm terrible at chemistry.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you study chemistry back in school?
I did, but many years ago.
Well, same. But anyways, welcome to Companies to Watch. Tell us whether you think the stock that we're going to be discussing is going to be hot or not. 8855-0893. Text us on WhatsApp and tell us what you think. Now, Audrey, have you heard of Lithium Americas?
I did last week. After the stock soared, but that was the first time I was introduced to the brand.
Guess what, Audrey? Same.
Okay.
So, yes, Lithium Americas is a Canadian-based developer focused on Thacker Pass in Nevada. Now, that's the largest known lithium deposit in the U.S., with enough reserves to support production for 4 decades. Now, you know why this is important?
Because our phones use lithium batteries?
As well as the
Everything
cars.
else.
Yeah. So phase 1 alone is enough to churn out about 40,000 tons of lithium carbonate a year, enough to power nearly 800,000 EVs annually. So at full capacity, that figure could potentially double. And General Motors did see the value in that and invested about $650 million last year and secured long-term rights to Thacker Pass lithium for its UTM batteries. I hope I pronounced that right. Now, that deal was the largest U.S. automaker investment in a lithium project to date.
Yeah, and to put all of this into perspective, the U.S. only produces about 1% of the world's lithium today. So Thacker Pass isn't just a mine, it's potentially the project that puts America on the lithium map.
Certainly so, and it puts them in the competitive space when it comes to EVs as well. So yes, Lithium Americas is starting to be the talk of the town. Its shares just soared nearly 90% in a single day.
Yeah.
One of the sharpest rallies we've seen this year. And that comes amid reports that the U.S. government is considering a 10% equity stake in the company as part of a multi-billion-dollar federal loan to build out its Nevada project. So suddenly, this relatively quiet lithium miner has become a centerpiece in America's EV and clean energy strategy.
Yeah, and it's very unusual for Washington to buy into a mining developer. But lithium is a critical mineral, especially today with the rise of EVs. And Thacker Pass is strategically vital for U.S. interests.
Yeah, certainly so. After all, multiple reports this week revealed that the U.S. Department of Energy, they're in talks to take a direct equity stake. And yes, the deal will also help to reshape the terms of an existing $2+ billion loan package that's funding the mine. So by taking shares or warrants, the government would help to protect taxpayers if prices stay low. It also signals confidence in the project's future, and that was enough to send confidence into the stock and investors just piling the cash in. So it isn't just about one company, it's about securing supply chains and reducing the reliance on China. And that's where we're seeing how they've been dominating within the EV space. So I believe this, to some extent, would help them to spur up some demand and some form of competitiveness and moat within the electric vehicle space. So it also ties into clean energy transition, the U.S. policy from EV tax credits to climate goals, and it also helps to develop further reliable supplies of battery metals that can help them to build up their moat. Now, today, China dominates the global lithium refining, handling more than half the world's output. So by backing Lithium Americas, the U.S. certainly shows that they want control over at least part of this critical resource. And Thacker Pass could likely transform America from a small lithium player into a meaningful producer. Now, if you look at how their share price has been performing so far, year to date, they're up about more than 130%
Whoa.
to $7.24.
Okay.
Perspective.
Yeah, and don't forget the backdrop. Lithium prices have been on a roller coaster after surging in, I believe, 2021, 2022. They collapsed almost 90% as new supply came online and EV growth in China slowed. So, it is a pretty volatile stock that we're looking at.
Yeah. And it's on a roller coaster, that's without a doubt. So yes, the slump is probably one of the reasons why the DOE paused its first loan disbursement earlier this year. And once, I guess, prices kind of stabilized, they would eventually, start to pile in and invest a little bit more into this precious metal, and hopefully in the long run, demand for EVs still continues to stay. Well, that being said, analysts did forecast global lithium demand could likely triple by 2035. And while the short-term markets look soft, the long-term trend points upwards, which is why the government is willing to step in now. So let's talk about the bull case and the bear case for Lithium Americas. Well, they've got big backers, with General Motors on board in Washington potentially joining. The project looks heavily de-risked, a good amount of confidence within this space. And of course, Thacker Pass having been considered as one of the very few large lithium projects on US soil, this gives it policy support and strong demand visibility. And with tailwinds from EV growth as well, it's likely shaping up to be one of US strategic assets. So when it comes to the bear case, well, a dilution of government stake would likely mean that existing shareholders may get watered down. Now, execution-wise, after all, Thacker Pass is still under construction, so first production is only expected in 2027. So we're only likely to see some form of revenue till then. Price volatility is what we've mentioned before. Lithium is notoriously cyclical. If oversupply persists, profitability could be under pressure. And of course, regulation and community pushback is likely to also kind of be some of the few headwinds that they have to face.
Yeah, so some pros and cons here. So in the end, we need the results. Do you think it's going to be hot or not?
Yes, Audrey, having considered, the factors and having considered the bull and bear case of it, it seems like traders are now chasing momentum after a near 100% surge. But it does represent a rare chance for them to, be part of a project that could underpin America's EV supply for decades. So I'm going to go with the hot.
Hey! Yeah, I think, with the U.S. government now pretty much in the mix with GM as well, it's heavily de-risked and positioned to ride the EV boom. Right?
Yeah, I think if you have the backing of the government, it says quite a bit about where you stand. So that would pretty much wrap it up for analysis of today's Stock in Focus, Lithium Americas. Tell us what you think, 8855-0893. Now, Audrey, here's some fun facts. Did you know that its flagship Thacker Pass project in Nevada sits on the largest known lithium deposit in the U.S.? Enough supply of batteries that could help to power millions of EVs over its mine life.
Millions?
Yeah.
Wow.
So unlike most of the world's lithium, which comes from salty brines in South America or hard rock in Australia, Thacker Pass is clay-based deposit. So if successful, it will be the first large-scale clay lithium operation in the world, essentially pioneering a new extraction method.
Fascinating stuff, Dan.
Yes, some chemistry lesson for you. So, what do you call someone who says lithium and argon atoms are bonded?
What? I don't know. Cool.
What are the... a liar. L-I-N-A-R.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, all right. What stops people from telling chemistry jokes?
Wow, this is really not my forte. Positively... I don't know. I have no idea.
Good try. It's the reaction.
Okay.
A chemical reaction. And that's all we have for Lithium Americas.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.